turn around, and look into the distance. The next second, the monster began to glow behind him. The piercing sound of Wang resounded throughout the audience. Isn't Li Yuyang's constant gaze? One was dressed in a robe. A mysterious man with 2 wings appears on the battlefield. Excuse me, are you from my people? This question also asked Li Yuyang. Who the hell is this guy? Could it be that he is also a player in the Raiders of Sky Island? Li Yuyang immediately shook his head, judging by his dress and wings. Very. It may be the angels living on the Isle of Sky. The monsters that were attacked did not die. Instead, they were even more angry. See this scene? The angel man had a solemn face. Slowly raised the magic book in his hand. I give you opportunities. Get out of here. Without waiting for the man to continue talking, the monster has launched a surprise attack. In the blink of an eye, he came to the man. The shield of the law unleashes a blazing light. Block the onslaught of flames. Directly trap the monster in place and can't move. Now is the time. Hurry up. Hear this. Dirt Cat holds the trio of Ian Jing with one hand. Quickly run towards the passageway. In the next second, a powerful explosion resounded behind him. Wait until the 3 of them enter the portal. Suddenly, there was a flower in front of me. After a while, the 3 of them have come to a strange place. Don't wait for them to figure out the situation. There was the sound of hee-hee locking footsteps from the high platform. My dear child, you're finally back. Looking at the old woman's excited expression, the 3 of them were petrified in an instant. Did this meow trigger the plot? No matter how you look at it, this is the lair of angels. Let's be a little more enthusiastic now. That way, they can at least take care of us. Just as the 2 were whispering, Jing suddenly froze in place. The old woman who looked at the sage squarely. Don't wait for him to speak. The old woman had already embraced the little angel. Don't be afraid, child. You've come home. No one will ever be able to hurt you again. A warm feeling came. Let Yin Jing not only be a little dazed. It was as if the woman in front of him was really his home. People don't know why. A sour ache came. Ian burst into tears. Put the real world wrong. They all cried. All these years in order to see a doctor for my mother. He really suffered a lot. This is a touching scene. Let the Dirt Cat can't help but have a sour nose. I didn't expect the Supreme God to be a healing game. Are we too narrow-minded? The old bird was very speechless at this moment. Are you so sensational? How can I pit this group of angels later? Right now. A serious voice came. Who are these 2 humans? Angel. The warrior quickly surrounded the old bird and the Dirt Cat. These 2 male humans are too ugly. How can there be such an ugly species in the world? They're from another planet. I heard the chatter next to me. Li Yuyang was speechless for a while, saying bad things about others in person. It's the first time I've seen him. Ian came to the Sky Island and called home. The old bird came to the empty island to look for abuse, surrounded by all the angels. Li Yuyang did not lose an inch. Let's have some fun with them. Kriva Empty Island. Over here. It is the only net after the war between angels and demons. Earth. There are also all the remnants of the angel clan. But I don't know when. However, a large number of monsters suddenly appeared in the empty island. Those things upset the ecological balance of the empty island. Let the angels who love peace. Caught in a new crisis. They're trying to survive. To draw a large area. It was made into a complex labyrinth. Trap all the monsters in it. And the one who built the labyrinth. He was regarded as the emperor by the angel clan. He is the lifesaver of their whole people. It's the information that the Dirt Cat inquired about through small talk. But what is the use of him meowing to know more? Old bird, you kids' ruthless work. Is it just a confession? Complain to the old bird a few words. The Dirt Cat continues to set closely. What happened to the emperor in the end? Little Quack also knows everything. Afterwards, for some reason, the emperor's temperament suddenly changed. More than. ordered all newborn children to be put in a dungeon. Visits are not allowed yet, not even biological parents. We all suspect that he was captured by a demon. Eat all the children. However, he publicly announced that he had received a divine prison. If you follow the royal decree, the whole angel clan will have a chance at redemption, and we simply don't have a choice. Because the emperor is too powerful. It's not something that ordinary angels can fight against at all. But in the hearts of ordinary angels, just want to be with your own children. It's just that his family is living in peace. Haven't you thought of any other way? Xiao Gaga, who smiled slightly, of course thought about it. We have an internal response in the imperial city. Many children have been rescued one after another. The hinterland you brought back is also the children of the village. Meanwhile, the little angel is also talking to his biological mother. Rest assured, we're not going to do anything to those two humans. When the time is right, we'll send them back to the ground. Back then, you were attacked by monsters in the labyrinth. It's that you've disappeared from the Sky Island for so many years. I've really wronged you. As he spoke, he gently hugged the little angel again. But at this moment, Ein Jing has long since regained his composure. I just felt extremely embarrassed. After all, he's just a player in the Bloody Dove's Nest. In this way, Yin Jing was under the care of the angel mother. Had a fantastic time. And two bitter boys. You can only look up at the sky from prison. Let's be honest, what exactly are your plans? When are we going to get out of here? Hear the question of the dirt cat. Li Yuyang grinned and was relieved. I'm in control. Sooner or later, this group of NPCs will be grateful to our little angels. The mainland used to be the pearl of a happy life. Lose your all these years. I miss you all the time. Listen to the words of the cheap mother. Ian chuckled bitterly. He doesn't have any childhood memories of the little angel at all. At the moment, he seemed to be struggling, although they are just NPCs in the game. But this sincere attitude, there is no way for him to continue cheating. After all, he's not an old bird. It's an Ian Jing, stammering and wanting to say when it comes to implementation. Suddenly, there was a loud noise outside the house. What the hell is going on? Right now, the peaceful angel village is suddenly close by. The shrill sound of the masterpiece resounded throughout the audience. Indicates that the plot is about to usher in a turning point. Dirk has never been so depressed. The last time I was pitted with the old bird was the last time. Right now, the calm angel is vigilant. Just as little Quack shouted to remind the clansmen. A dark shadow flickered by. In an instant, the little Quack was skewered into a sugar gourd. An angel village. It is also being attacked by a collection of monsters. Why did they come out of the labyrinth? Everyone hurried to talk. The sharp-pointed archers have launched a counterattack. But a strong sword, Taxi, is just in. Flames erupted from the monster's body. No real harm was caused, seeing that the monster had come to his side. The two little Quacks didn't even have time to react. It was dried up in a slag. The glow shines. The mother of the mainland unleashed the magic of light. The light of the hunt temporarily suppressed the monster's progress. See this scene? The little Quacks had joy on their faces. Originally, the monsters inside the labyrinth are not invincible. Morale boosted. The little Quacks also raised their spears and joined the battle. Right now, volatile protrusions, dark monsters. He even took the initiative to devour the exoskeleton. A screeching click. All the angels in the audience were stunned. It's like an old bird met inside a labyrinth. After the devouring is over, the dark shadow monster of Aji Aji reappears in the world. This level is infinitely close to the S-class, with the strange effect of the next few years. The little Quacks also realized that something was wrong, hurriedly continued to attack. But something that shocked them even more happened. The transformed monster didn't even rush to the angel. Instead, they rushed towards other monsters. In an instant, the monsters in front of them turned to ashes. And the momentum on Xiao Gaga's body is even more harmful. Seeing that the situation is out of control, mothers in the mainland are once again gathering strength. Ugly creatures, you deserve nothing but darkness. Hearing the sound, Jing rushed over. I was also afraid to move under the scene in front of me. The next second, the monster does not retreat and advances, hard-carrying light magic. A punch on the blazing coffin. Powerful force to make light film. There is a clicking sound that pierces the eardrum. A pair of large black hands pressed on the light mist. Tear hard. A defensive shield filled with lightning and light. Just like that by the monster. Suppression to energy disorders. The mother in the mainland gritted her teeth and insisted. But the other party's power is too strong. The alert held up for a moment. The monster has torn the light wood to shreds. Affected by skill reversal, the mother of the mainland flew out. Smashed hard beside Jing. Leave me alone. His goal is you. This guy won't let go of the flag clansman. Hear this? Jing was even more flustered. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Right now. The little quacks also won and ran quickly. We'll stop him. Seeing that the situation is even worse. The mother in the mainland shouted again that you were the only one who escaped. The angel clan will have a future. But the scene in front of me. But it seemed to touch the fear in the heart of the little angel. In a trance, he was back in the labyrinth of darkness. The monster completed its metamorphosis right before his eyes. It was as if I had lost someone very important in my heart. Jing remembers it well, especially that evil smile and JJ's weird laughter. Right now, fragments of memory began to fade. Ian came back to his senses. Turn around and flee in the opposite direction. He knows it well. This is supposed to be the memory of the little angel before it fell. And the monster in front of you. It's the guy in my memory. The reason why the Emperor went crazy was also because of him. He is the key to solving all problems. But he was not given a chance to escape. The monster just waved his hand slightly. A strong force strikes. Flip Jing to the ground first. Wait until the flames fade. There were no other angels around, leaving only the monster behind Shizu. The giant black hand grabbed slowly. Jing felt intense fear. Even if you know you're just playing a game, he still couldn't stop shaking. Right now, the monster suddenly noticed a hint of it. The strong arm slammed into it. Still couldn't stop the red. Rescue Jing from the monsters. Li Yuyang sneered and delusionally behind him. The time is finally ripe. It's time for you to understand. Who is the god of this game? King Ma Dong had never encountered such an enemy. Even if it's a string of martial arts. I didn't fight like that. Save Jing at a critical moment. Li Yuyang looked behind him with a smile. It's time to settle our battles. And on the other side of the battlefield, a huge explosion resounded throughout the audience. After the dirt cat easily dealt with the little quacks, restlessly looking in the direction of the old bird. Except for the weird laughing guy. Fish monsters are basically just B rank. But what the hell does that guy think? Remembered Li Yuyang's previous arrangement. Dirt cat is a little depressed, and asked Lao Tzu to clean up and smash the ice. But he was alone looking for the bus. The dry rack went. Powerful flames spread throughout the venue. The red cloak is gone. In its place were scorching mechs. King Ma Dong returned to the battlefield again. Up as a flaming step monster foot. The ground began to crumble. King Ma Dong slammed into it. The powerful reaction force allowed him to quickly approach the monster. In the case of being restrained by skill wit. Old bird, how do you kid resolve the crisis? Dirt cat looked into the distance expectantly. Ma Dongwang's fist collided violently. A crackling sound rang out between the fists. Li Yuyang roared and rushed over. A fist carrying flames. It rained like raindrops. It seems that the whirlwind is as fierce as a tiger. At first glance, the damage is only 5. between the fist and the monster. It's like having a layer of passports in reducing damage taken by monsters. But it doesn't matter. Li Yuyang, I didn't intend to kill monsters with damage in the first place. The flat crust thrashed with fists, finally full of cracks. There was a loud click. The heavy earth and rocks could no longer support the pressure, begin to fall apart. The monster fell along with the stones. Li Yuyang began to accelerate violently. The reaction force brought about by the flame ministry. Let him be like a cannonball out of sugar. Smash it down. Poison is not enough. Looking at the little quack who is still laughing weirdly, King Ma Dong raised his fist again. What Lao Tzu wants to overturn is this land. The fist slammed down again. The saw was not out for several times. This punch of King Ma Dong contains all of Little Quack's rage. Just listen to the Isle of Sky below. There was an explosion that shattered the eardrums. A cloud of dust kicked up. The bottom of the Isle of Sky was completely dried by the old bird's punch. The laughing Little Quack couldn't laugh anymore. The whole person fell out of the empty island, falling towards a height of 10,000 meters. The old bird at the moment switched back to large gear. Spider Silk at a critical moment saved his life, and the kid went all the way. In the next life, you must remember without me. The old bird can't be turned over. Busts in a mocking conversation with the sheep. The foot quack gradually disappeared into the sunfield. At the same time, the dirt cat has also played with fire. A bunch of desperate guys. For the current dirt cat, it's just a piece of cake. The village of angels returned to calm again. The haughty angels put down their postures. Say thank you to the dirt cat and the old bird. You are the saviors of our whole people. Please forgive us for our previous neglect. Xuanji's mother smiled slightly. It may be a little late, but let me be honest with you. Welcome to Angel Village. Hear the words of the village chief. The old bird also grinned politely. We've only done a small favor. After all, the main dish has just begun. A Gadjashurak one-handed slave. A Gadjalohama cross slaves. A Gajamak one-handed sword. A Gaji, the chameleon ring old bird the boss for a long time. Nothing. Gidge cat. But I just chatted with the angel ladies. Got 4 pieces of Agaji equipment. Isn't the play dog worthy of love? Killing the shadow is only the first step. Want to get a mission reward? You have to talk to the angels of Angel Village. Brush purchase intimacy. According to the strategy obtained by Li Yuyang in his previous life, hidden in the Angel Village is Gene, valuable equipment that countless players are crazy about. And the conditions for getting these equipment. It is to increase the friendship with NPC. Recall the previous battles. Not at all. Several people saw the scene of their struggle to fight. Let's put it this way. What are we going to do? To get the support of NPCs. The old bird also fell into thought. He didn't do less things to pit NPCs. But he's really not good at helping computer people. Suddenly, Li Yuyang had a flash of inspiration. Isn't there one who has entered the Angel clan at the moment? Internal opportunities. The legendary trio split up. In his own way, he said that I use Jealous Gone. Li Yuyang chose the most direct one. The most bitter way. That's to help move bricks. Not only do you have to do all kinds of hard work, I had to endure the insults and urging of the overseers. Li Yuyang endured all of this. Who wants Xiao Gaga not to give face? I actually want to prostitute the old bird. Dirt Cat is very kind here. He found the young woman of the Angel clan through a handsome appearance and gentle conversation. Soon I got together with the young ladies. The smoke is more crisp. Massage directly for the elderly of the Angel clan. That's it. Only Li Yuyang himself was busy. Lead all the workers to rebel. Succeeded in overthrowing the oppression of the slave owners. For the reward, this kid really does everything. And the Dirt Cat became a friend of women. Go shopping and draw. Afternoon tea. Stay until the busy Li Yuyang. See the cozy Ian Jing and a group. The old man drank afternoon tea slowly, and it looks unusually harmonious. His heart exploded so completely. Lao Tzu was tired, and he didn't buy people's hearts. You eat and drink here and complete the mission right away. But when a cat appeared in front of them, they know the nature of this world. Sure enough, women are the most generous. Not only did he prostitute an angel clan dress for nothing, it also brought 4 pieces of A-level equipment. Increases the attack damage of the one-handed slave by 3,000. Has a penetration-enhancing feature. Hit an enemy with a slow effect. Lahama Cross slave attack is increased by 3,000. Enhanced penetration. Has a blinding effect. Increases the attack damage of Tahi's one-handed sword by 3,000. Reduces dark resistance by 10%. Has the slash trait. Thinking of the grievances I have suffered. Li Yuyang has the heart to kill his teammates. And that's not all. Dirt Cat mysteriously stretched out her hand. Beauty. A ring with a sparkling black and red pattern appears in front of you. Add the chameleon ring. You can change your appearance at will. This thing doesn't increase combat power, though. But Li Yuyang can take advantage of him. Better disguise the identity of King Ma Dong and Lao Bird. At that time, King Ma Dong will be King Ma Dong. An old bird is an old bird. Li Yuyang is Li Yuyang. No one will ever doubt his identity again. Although Einjing did not receive any gifts. But he from the old people learned the sacred barrier and healing skills. Later, he's the exclusive companion for Old Bird and Dirk. So the 3 of them only had Li Yuyang and nothing to gain. Just while a few people were chatting, a commotion came from inside the angel village. The kids are back. It's the mysterious angel people. Brought back some of the children trapped in the dungeon. He also saw Li Yangjian not far away. You were the same as I was in the dungeon before. Meet the humans. I'm glad you made it to Angel Village alive. Analecta, an NPC named Bug, looked down at Einjing. Behind the scenes, I'm glad you're back. But I'm sorry to say to you. Failed to protect you and your sister before. Hear this. Einjing fell silent for a moment. In the memory of the little angel, this man has been trying to save the sky from the beginning. Children of the messengers. If it's him, I guess I know what happened. This is probably the most harvested copy of the Dirt Cat. 2 male and female males with different effects of a plus grade. A handful of a plus grades are common. In a functional ring. Is that why your face matters? But in Angel Village, the happiest thing is definitely quiet. As a good girl, the Supreme God was the first large-scale online game he played. Here all NPC all regard him as. The kid is very nice to him. Let this little girl be addicted to the game and can't extricate herself. Right now, he finally remembered his teammates. Dirk looked at the little angel with a smile on his face. You've had a lot of fun in the past few days when I've been offline. Speaking of which, he and the old bird traveled from the northern continent to the deep sea area. From the deep sea to the sinkhole. It's probably the most relaxing of them. But what about Li Yuyang's guy? Dirt Cat stretched out his fingers. He's having a meeting with the village elders. Go doesn't seem to be completely lifted. By the way, how long have you known Li Yuyang? How is that guy in reality? Speaking of Li Yuyang, Ian Jing immediately became excited. He was simply a legend in our class. When I was in school, my grades were not good. But now it's the best one. Just while the 2 were chatting, the old bird hurried over from a distance. Presently, the elders of the village are holding a zoo party. The quest is about to move on to the next step. And what are you 2 talking about? Hear that? Einjing just smiled, and there was no answer. He is now on the course of the copy. It's also full of anticipation. It feels like opening a blind box. I don't know what's next. In the village chief's wooden house, everyone was very surprised by the king's decision. He wants to re-imprison the returning children, especially 3-year-olds. I heard that I received a prophecy. That's why I'm so obsessed. The female village chief also looked serious at the moment. Do you know the specifics of the prophecy? The country will disappear because of the children. A 3-year-old child. It will bring destruction to the country. With the end of the old era, a new era will be born. That's what the prophecy is all about. It is clear that no one will believe the king's words. How about a 3-year-old could destroy an entire country? The king's illness has worsened again. In fact, the king was a very wise angel at first, until he accepted the divine prison. Become like a maniac who can eat people at any time. The children were in prison. No one even cares if he's sick. We can't afford to be at the mercy of that anymore. The customer is the main force in rescuing the child. His face was even more gloomy. Now we are faced with a stark choice. Follow the king's orders. Send the kids back to the dark dungeon. Or remove that guy from power. Re-choose a more suitable person to do. The king heard this, laughing and excited. We chose to oust the mad emperor from power. Listen to the passionate shouts of the angels. Li Yuyang is clear. The second phase of the dungeon began. Meanwhile, Booker began to assign tasks. They are to gather all their strength. Completely storm the palace. Right now, Booker noticed the smoke in the distance. Do you want to join us? Look at the eyes that cannot be sincere. Ein Jing fell silent. Of course, you can choose to continue to hate me. After all, I put you in prison with my own hands. Ian said a word quietly. Although you once obeyed the king's orders. Locked us up. But I believe. All the children see your attitude. It was you who risked your life. Get us out of prison. Ian bowed. Thank you for saving your life. I will join you. See this scene? The village chief also smiled with satisfaction. The customer thought about it, turned his head to look at Li Yuyang. I know you are strangers. Can you help the children of our country get through this? Hear what your customers have to say. Li Yuyang's eyes were waning, but the system prompt he was waiting for didn't pop up. Now apparently has gone into the copy. The main quest is up. Is this an open-ended topic? Case. Li Yuyang smiled slightly. The little angels are so cute. Of course I will join you in saving them. Dirt Cat also looked at Ein Jing with a smile. This little woman. I definitely want to help the NPCs in Angel Village. Then the rebel lineup has been decided. The Archangel is known as the White Flame. Customer Goodbird Threesome. And the little quacks of the Angel Clan. But why do these guys look a little abnormal? Could it be that they are beating Ein Jing's idea? The lineup is assembled. The main quest is opened. Overthrow the king's rule. Create a new kingdom of angels. But what they don't know is, a pair of black wings had approached the Isle of Sky. There was a loud bang. The black figure clings to the bottom of Sky Island. Strange effects in the dark sky. The reverberations don't stop. Don't be afraid that Xiaoqiang can't die. I'm afraid that Xiaoqiang can fly. Just in the small quack festival secretly returned to the vacancy. When Li Yuyang and the angel, your actions have also begun. Light magic opens the way. The walls of the dungeon and the little quacks couldn't stop it. The staff shone with red lightning. The law blind forcibly hired Xiao Gaga in place. Immediately after that, the newspaper came to settle the battle directly. The new weapon is easy to use. These guys are compared to the monsters before them. It's just too weak. Li Yuyang couldn't help but remind not to be careless. And that's just the beginning. As the crowd continues to go deeper, the roads inside the labyrinth have also become more complicated. But it doesn't matter. Li Yuyang has the choice of the Dark King. Just follow the arrows. Emperor Nictim can definitely be found. It doesn't look like the maze is as dangerous as the legend says. Just when the little quacks let their guard down, the white flame's face sank. Labyrinths aren't that simple. The deeper you go, the more complex the structure becomes. The monsters you encounter will also become stronger and stronger. Right now, suddenly there was a trivial sound in the passage. A large object slowly wriggled down the stairs. Li Yuyang hurriedly stopped everyone to be careful. Something is approaching. As the crowd climbed the stairs, only to find out that it was a huge black monster. This thing doesn't seem to have offensive power. It seems like it's just a birth state. That's right. Let's just get around it. As long as you don't take the initiative to attack. This thing is no longer a threat to us. At this time, Einjing found a trace of mud. He seemed to smell something familiar. At this point, the team also chose to move on. While passing by the monster's huge body, Xiao Gaga couldn't help but sigh. It's just that the baby state is so huge. It seems that there is no shortage of scientific and technological fish, and it is very lively. In this way, several people did not choose to take the initiative to attack. Instead, And the demon hunts the dragon, or dragons hunting demons, can get a lot of additional benefits. But with a reward comes an obligation. Demons and dragons have always been hostile. The fall of Sky City was a signal for the two sides to go to war. 7 dragons and 7 demon monarchs. They will all attack each other in various places, and players from both camps. And they have to fight for their king. When the time comes, the faction you belong to will release the latest hidden missions and daily tasks. Neutral humans will not be forced to do tasks, though. However, there are no additional rewards to be obtained. Right now, Uncle Hong Ming raised his hand again. The two lineups attacked each other. Will it trigger the red light system? Don't worry about that. Players with opposing lineups will not be able to communicate. In short, the translation system is shut down. When the time comes, humanity, dragonmen, and orcs, in the eyes of each other, they will become ordinary monsters. How wide can Li Yuyang's connections be? This squad won't be guilty of winning a world championship. Ethnic language will appear in the new version. The status quo of inaccessibility. All teams will go through a major reshuffle. K1 sponsors will also withdraw their funds one after another. So join my club. You definitely won't regret it. But is your working capital solved? In fact, the startup capital of the opening club. Li Yuyang was ready for a long time. However, the club itself is very cash-burning. He had to find new investors. Looked at Li Yuyang and fell into thought. Rook couldn't help but grin. It turns out that King Ma Dong is an old bird. The old bird is King Ma Dong. You've made me so miserable. The battle between the king of horses and the old bird. You also directed and acted by yourself. Li Yuyang hurriedly changed the topic. The Asian Cup is about to begin. Because the race system is on, the other clubs are absolutely messed up. So this is our chance. But I want to participate. There must be at least 5 people. Need help connecting you with the pros? Unexpectedly, Li Yuyang was extremely confident. I've been in touch for a long time. A few days later, Li Yuyang took Ryu to the agreed place. Ryu finally met his team. Future members. Aren't these people a little too outrageous? Li Yuyang introduced it with a smile. Ma Ritian won't talk about it. Your old acquaintances. Dirk Cat is also a veteran player of the Supreme God. You've also seen Lu Yanran's sister. As for Ian's sword, he's a powerful support. Ryu immediately stayed in the professional arena. It's not a 5-black team. Without waiting for Li Yuyang to continue, Ryu immediately pulled him away from the 4 of them. No kidding. Where the hell do you get your confidence? 5 people and 3 amateur members. Li Yuyang is very honest. Only they don't want a salary. And what about the investment you pulled? I've used them to pay you. Ryu was completely convinced. No wonder you can give me double my annual salary. I'm waiting here. If you are not at ease, let's have a formal interview horse. The king went to the temporary office of the ministry to pick up Ryu's home. The first one to be interviewed was Ian Realm. When it was learned that he was playing Chi Gao God for the first time, Ryu didn't understand too much. What do you mean? Does that mean your gaming experience is less than a week? So have you ever played a similar game? Again, a negative answer. Ryu was completely convinced. After only playing for a week, he was pulled to play professionally. So, how many levels are you now? Ian thought for a moment. If he remembered correctly, I'm level 60 now. A corner number appears on the top of the Japanese head. The current ranking is just 60 at first glance. How could you? But I saw Einjing's account information. If the rain is really unconvinced, it can't be done. In fact, in the Battle of Sky City, the effect of Einjing is maximized, and the experience he gained was enormous. Next up is the Dirk Cat. He's also level 62, and the big name of the Dirk Cat has long been heard of by Luo Yu. This teenager used to be in the competitive rankings as well, but it suddenly disappeared not long ago. Unexpectedly, this kid has been following Ma Wang to mix copies. History. Dirk was originally reluctant to join the clan. His legs and feet are inconvenient. At first, it was also to pass the time. I chose to play the supreme god, so he didn't want to do anything out of the way. Although Li Yuyang personally came to invite. But the Dirk sweater didn't let go. See this? Li Yuyang stood up violently. You're my best friend. How can you do it without your sub-civil and military forces? As long as you agree to join my club, I will provide you with the best environment and treatment. And starting a live stream can also increase your income. So trust my vision. You are definitely a talented pro gamer. Are you really not curious? The cataclysm caused by our own hands. How much of a difference it can bring to the game. And those new S-class hidden bosses. But I've been waiting for you to go to the strategy. Hear Li Yuyang's words. Dirk finally couldn't hold back his meow. I have to say, or will your chick put the hook? Li Yuyang had never encountered such an enemy. It's tangled like a dog skin plaster, he meows. Customer, you go and open the door first. This guy is handed over to me. The injured customer showed peaking opera on his face. Without saying a word, he ran towards the gate. See this at a glance. Little Gada couldn't help but smile crookedly. The bloody one looked in the direction of Buklason. Li Yuyang is not in a hurry at the moment. Lao Tzu used his mother for 3 months to kill the boss. And he's afraid you'll be a clown. Just as they were confronted, behind Ian's silence, a strange one quietly appeared. The phantom of things. It's like a shadow. Silently looking for Ian Jing in the depths. Dirk Cat saw this critical situation. Hurriedly shouted, Ian Jing. Watch behind you. Li Yuyang was also attracted to attention. Little Quack took the opportunity to pass him. Ran towards Ian Jing. At this time, Li Yuyang was completely hungry. You're really looking for death. There's a small quack ahead. There are shadow monsters in the back. Seeing that Ian Jing is about to return to the spring to be resurrected. Dirk Cat hurriedly shot an arrow. There was a loud bang. Ian closed her eyes in fear. But the imaginary pain did not come. Shoot him open his eyes. The big face in front of him made Yin Jingding very worried. I saw a little Gagaku protecting Ian Jing. I killed the shadow monster. Look at the clown mask that is close at hand. Ian Jing seemed to feel a hint, a familiar feeling, right now. Li Yuyang also rushed over and hurried out of there. Ian Jing couldn't care about anything else. Hurriedly ran away from under Xiao Quack. Keep Ian behind you. Li Yuyang can't figure out the situation now. What the hell is this guy doing? What will protect the little angels? Ian looked at Little Quack in silence. He always felt, this guy should be someone the little angel is familiar with. Little Gaga, however, suddenly spoke at this moment. Are you okay in the mainland? Until now. He's an addition to the phrase. It's the first time I've spoken human words. This stunned Li Yuyang and the others. He's not just a monster. But not waiting for them to continue talking. Little Quack suddenly jumped up, disappear into the wide hall. But the little angel's memory seems to loosen a little more. This voice. It's the friend in the memory clip. Why did he become like this? Little Gaga, who did not choose to leave the battlefield. Instead, he found a place to hide. It's as if waiting for a moment to come. The palace gates opened from the inside. A man who made Li Yuyang vigilant walked out slowly. Customer, your betrayal makes me very sad. The man in tears is the last boss. His Royal Highness the Emperor. And what he stepped on. It was Booker, who was already unconscious. Li Yuyang hurriedly shouted loudly, trying to wake up Booker. The cry attracted the Emperor's attention. Why are humans involved? You shouldn't be on Sky. The Emperor lifted his foot slightly. Kick Booker out of the way. Rushed to unite foreign aid against the same foot. Customer, you really let me down? There was a loud bang. The customer smashed on the roof and didn't know if he was alive or dead. And the next second, the Emperor turned to face Li Yuyang. A sense of oppression came from him. Emperor of the Angelic Clan. Nick Demo's attribute relationship skill regeneration. Summoning and selecting level A+. The Emperor of the Angels. Negative rank A home is 3 meters tall. This man with wings. It is the owner of the entire Angel Island. And Li Yuyang did not raid his intelligence. But I want to clear the dungeon. This guy has to be beaten. Find the weak humans. How did you get here? Have you borrowed the power of Zoramon? Hear the name of the Dark Lord. Li Yuyang was stunned for a moment. Could the guy in front of him be in contact with dark netizens? He's my old friend. It is also the only one among humans who is eligible. He Jinping started the existence of Pingsua. Looking at the Emperor's intoxicated expression, Li Yuyang suddenly grinned. Don't blow it. That kid had long since become a slave to the devil. The Emperor bared his nose. Feel free to slander the reputation of others. Humans are despicable. A bloodthirsty realm. There is also a necklace of unknown rank Solumen. These two pieces of equipment are exactly what the Dark Lord is carrying. In the face of ironclad evidence, the Emperor had nothing to say at all. His CPU almost burned out on the spot. Now Li Yuyang has the bottom in his heart. It turned out to be a glass-hearted Emperor. Remember the time when the darkness was dying. It's like turning into a zombie. Sunken eye sockets. Ugly looks. It makes me a human gag to look at. In the face of offensive and defensive integration. Outrageous boss with little intelligence. Yuyang can only carry out mouth cannon attacks. And this kid is still a vertical monster. We have to be careful. Take advantage of the Emperor's heart to shake. Li Yuyang had already rushed forward. You have such a good relationship with the Dark King. Why don't you join him? The Emperor was still grieving over the death of his friend. Large tears fell from his face. Don't meow and cry. He didn't mention your name until he died. At the moment when the Emperor completely burst into tears, a loud click resounded throughout the palace. Li Yuyang did not hesitate to strike hard. The Emperor who beat fell to the ground. Rely on the mouth cannon to attack the boss. Lao Tzu is really a genius. The Emperor lying on the ground was still choking. Now, he has no will to fight. So many kidnappings. People like you don't have the right to pretend to be pathetic. Dirk also interjected. Even his own people are hurt. You really don't qualify to be the Emperor of the Angel Clan. Now it was the Emperor's turn to be stunned. Never done what you were talking about. The children were put in an underground prison. And just to prevent him from contracting the virus. The plot reverses a bit quickly. Li Yuyang couldn't react. The Emperor slowly rose from the ground. I heard that there was an outbreak of a highly contagious plague in the outside world. I'm going to open the dungeon. Let the children live there temporarily. And in order to give them a comfortable living environment, I also built a large number of dormitories. They're the future of the angels. As an emperor, even if all resources are used, I'll protect them too. Einjing didn't even question it. One of the abilities of the little angel. It is extremely sensitive to malice. In other words, what the emperor said is true. Then the real boss. It's the one who brought the angelic child to prison. Li Yuyang hurriedly turned his head. But it was too late. A surging energy passed through the crowd forbidden. Hit the emperor in the body. As the energy continues to sweep through, Li Yuyang couldn't help but take 2 steps back. The stupid Outlanders finally did it. Officially disappearing customers talking. Don't give Li Yuyang a chance to speak. There was a look of relief on the customer's face. I will always remember you. The angels were finally saved. Watch the plot completely usher in a reversal. Li Yuyang still couldn't believe it. Don't joke with me. Ignore the angry little quack. The customer walked slowly towards the emperor. I do. It's all for the future of the angel clan. He grabbed the emperor's head violently. Even you see it. Our emperor is not crazy. But he's such a cowardly fellow. It is impossible to lead the day. He who makes the people prosperous. Do you hurt your kindred? Can you make the angel clan better? Hear Li Yuyang's question. He shook his head helplessly. Even angels and demons. It is an inseparable relationship. If the angel clan is pure goodness, then the demon clan is pure evil. As he spoke, the customer pulled out a black seed. In Li Yuyang's puzzled gaze, the customer stuffed the seed into the emperor's body. This is so difficult that everyone is dumbfounded. As the seeds penetrate deep into the body, the emperor let out a miserable roar. Demons and angels are like light photos. They are one. As if to confirm Booker's words, the emperor's body began to burst. Countless branches grew wildly in the blood. Now you get it. Li Yuyang couldn't have imagined it. I was unexpectedly put on a spot by an NPC. With the demon's seed sprouting, the angel emperor's whole person turned into a big tree. The reason why we haven't completely wiped out the race. It's because the demon clan is keeping us in captivity. This sentence made the little angel stunned in place. Even the Dirk didn't understand what it meant to be in captivity. Demons, in order to maintain integrity, didn't rush to kill them all. The current angels are just the pets of the demons. Booker restrained his anger. He stretched out his hand and plucked the fruit of a great tree. This thing can be found everywhere in the labyrinth. Li Yuyang also did not know what the specific effect was. There was a crunch click. Booker enjoys the taste of the devil fruit. Only the most powerful angels. To grow such delicious food, Booker's wounds began to heal as well. The demon fruit has the ability to conquer the magic power in the body. It also brings great resilience. Even Li Yuyang underestimated the cost performance of the fruit. You know what kind of angels? In order to grow the best fruits, the customer points to Ian. Into a kid your age, it is the most suitable fertilizer to use. Yuyang is completely clear. This customer is the real cannibal emperor. It is also the final boss of this dungeon. Thank you for your continued help, but I have other things to do now. I won't send you personally. As soon as the words fell, the trees made a clicking sound. A giant monster emerges from the demonic chamber. Let him give you one last ride for me. The plot monster roars in the sky. A violent force swept in his face. Coco Mao hurriedly retreated. This boss was conceived by the emperor. The strength is also close to a hurry. Monsters inside the labyrinth. Is it all made this way? The little angel finally understood. Why, when I first met Booker, his heart was filled with fear, although the memory is lost. However, the residual consciousness in my heart is still resisting customers. His heart was filled with regret. If you don't need a resurrection scroll at that time, maybe there won't be so much trouble in the follow-up. Suddenly, Li Yuyang's hand slapped on the little angel's shoulder. Don't be stupid, that's how the plot is set. Even if you don't save him, he will be resurrected in other ways. Cannibal Emperor Rank S. Trait Cataclysm. At this time, Booker had clearly become a complete body. Can I ask a question? We were separated after the maze. Where have the other angels gone? Aren't you very clear? They're the ones who guard the gates. Let's kill it together. At this time, Li Yuyang completely fell into a rage. Although he knew it was just a game, but you can only understand it if you have experienced it yourself. How irritating the feeling of betrayal can be. Li Yuyang gritted his teeth. Word by word today. You have to die here. The next second, he rushed out with the morning blade. But the little angel seemed to have been struck by lightning. A large array of images appeared in the mind of Yin Jing. His memory was completely restored. It was a comfortable dormitory. These children are like a family. Take care of each other. Until one day the customer came here. He said he could take everyone away secretly. But on the way to escape the labyrinth, they were attacked by monsters. The sister of the little angel, in order to protect her sister, rushed out alone. In a bright red, my sister became the fertilizer of demonic magic. And who was behind all this? Exactly to save their customers. The old bird couldn't have imagined it. There is such an NPC of the sixth old. Einjing's memory had just returned. Li Yuyang's battle with the emperor has begun. Dirk Mao shot an arrow at the right time. The demonic emperor gathered to kill him. Smashed the speeding swordsman in one bite. Li Yuyang's face couldn't help but become solemn. This strength has surpassed that of the A family. Their chances of winning are getting smaller and smaller. The next second, the monster's attack smashed down like a spell. Force Li Yuyang to keep going backwards. It's just a bunch of weak chickens. Wait until it's all over. I will be the god above the world. Meanwhile, the monsters also began to attack the angel village. Such a huge amount. Not at all something they can contend with. Li Yuyang remembered to grit his teeth. A fierce one accelerates around the monster, rushing towards Booker himself. And you want to deal with me directly. It's so naive. Switch equipment instantly. King Ma Dong's full set smashed down. But in front of the huge magic of the customer, Li Yuyang couldn't get drunk at all. The heavy shield of Duke's hand lifted. Li Yuyang was knocked out by the sky-high magic power. It deserves to be an S-class monster. Ordinary small means really don't work. Just when Li Yuyang was thinking about other methods, Booker has come to the little angel. The moment you use the resurrection scroll on me, I've already made up my mind. Be sure to follow the arrangement of fate. G is still stuck in his own memories. There was no awakening. Li Yuyang was just about to go to support. Huge monsters stood in his way. Come to me. That's the only way. Only then can we take revenge on the demon clan. Booker reached out to pull the cherub. Unexpectedly, the monster emperor suddenly attacked. The huge claw slapped Booker away. This change made Li Yuyang stunned in place. His Meow's dog was planned and arranged. What kind of plot is this? The dirt cat also opened its mouth wide. It's not clear what happened. The customer's body rubs the floor. It flew hundreds of meters before stopping. Looking at the emperor, who seems to have restored Ling Ji. The customer was completely furious. What a stubborn guy. He tore his shirt apart. Abundant muscles are exposed. You're meowing. You're looking for death. The emperor's monster let out a roar from his mouth. A huge burst of light erupted. This is a power blow for A-plus monsters. But the customer only raised one hand, and he kept all the mats out of the way. Don't you understand it now? I wasn't the one who took it all. The customer clenched a huge palm with one hand. He choked the emperor by the neck. I'm doing it all for the angels. As the customer shakes his arm, the emperor was also thrown out by the energy palm. A powerful force smashed him into the ruins. Xuanqi's customer raised his hand. Several stone pillars are suspended in midair. The emperor had just stood up. The stone pillar has been thrown by the customer in a hurry. In the midst of a loud roar, this A-plus monster suffered. He shouldn't have suffered at his age. Die in peace. I'll avenge you. Duke raised his hand again. A huge barrier direct shrouded the entire dungeon. When all the angels become my power, I'm going to break into the world of demons. Kill their 7 demons directly. At this time, Li Yuyang was helpless. Face powerful bosses with no time limit. They might really have to remember it this time. In front of an S-class boss, there was no room for resistance. Li Yuyang couldn't have imagined it. His momentary distraction. It really put everyone in a certain death situation. As Booker raised his hand, a huge amount of energy swept over the entire palace. But he didn't wait for him to activate his skills. A black shadow suddenly appeared behind him. The frostbitten emperor bit Booker's arm. Bastard stuff. Do you really want to die? At the time, when Li Yuyang was stunned, another familiar figure suddenly appeared. It was like freezing through Booker's chest in an instant. The little angel trembled and hid in the hollow of the tree. Booker found him with a smile on his face. Come with me. I will give you a brighter future. And the little angel's sister has been devoured by the seed. Countless branches began to take root. A strange thing broke away from the demonic shaft. A demonic body that is supposed to be obedient. But it launched an attack on the customer. This is the attachment that lies deep in his heart. In a series of strange laughter of nodules, the customer was furious. And now pierce him. It's the familiar monsters, too. Sister Betty. The little angel couldn't help but call out his name. He still remembers it vividly. Betty told him to hide in a hollow in a tree. He swore he would come back to his sister. Duke's anger had reached its limit. One is that even the losers dare to sneak attack. You guys are really too self-conscious. With the customer's strength, Betty and the Emperor were all blown away. The already cruel Emperor only had half of his body left, and Betty took care of the little angel. The customer clutches his injured body. He picked a fruit again. Start chewing on your big head. With the devil fruit into the body. The customer's wounds are also visible to the naked eye. The speed is back to full. Since you want to die so much, I'll give you a ride. The customer's eyes suddenly turned blood red. The whole palace began to tremble. A moment of caution. Countless monsters have emerged from the dungeon. They all gathered around the customers. Lao Tzu will not lose to anyone. No, it's time for us to say goodbye. With the customer ordering, all the monsters are getting into action. Watch countless monsters fall from the sky. Li Yuyang couldn't help frowning. This group of guys is not only numerous, even the level is not low. He was ready to switch to King Madong's equipment, to carry out a wide range of attacks. Just when Li Yuyang started to act, a weak voice suddenly sounded in my head. Li Yuyang couldn't help but ask, "Who are you? Why call the king?" It was the emperor who died by ice who spoke. "Come to me. This is your last chance." Li Yuyang hurriedly turned his head. "I don't have time to explain. Come to me quickly." Li Yuyang couldn't help but fall into deep thought. This emperor, though, turned into a monster, but he soon regained his senses. The key to clearing the dungeon lies in him. Li Yuyang immediately stopped hesitating, began to run in the direction of the emperor. "Block them. I'll be back shortly." At this time, the emperor was already dying. He dragged his mangled body. It was as if he was going to die completely in the next moment. There is not much energy left in the body. "Give me a kick with your weapon." Now that you know that the emperor is kind. Of course, Li Yuyang didn't want to do it. Don't hesitate any longer. You have to kill them with your own hands. You'll be able to get that key item. One arrow is enough to clear the level. How strong can the artifact of an S-class dungeon be? Even the old birds were used to seeing strong winds and waves. I couldn't help but go back to running naked. The emperor kept begging to kill me quickly. I'm running out of time. Li Yuyang is not clear about what happened. But since it's a request from an NPC, naturally he would not refuse. The morning blade instantly pierced into the emperor's body. And Betty and Dirk at this time, already under siege. Booker was smiling and raising his palms. It seems that endless monsters appear one after another. Congratulations on getting a new item. Li Yuyang looked at the inventory in surprise. This is a gold balance grade A home. Trigger medium. Solomon's necklace. Angel's chance. It can be exchanged for a special ability equivalent. It has the ability to measure the weight of anything, and it will actively maintain a balance between the two sides. This was my gift to my dear friend. Now take it and destroy the evil. And the locked furnace door necklace in the inventory. It also began to shine brightly. Equipment of unknown level. There was a reaction to soul support. As soon as the emperor finished speaking, his body began to crumble. Watch him dissipate completely. Li Yuyang retracted his gaze. He took out this A-level prop. As long as you don't get killed by the player, this thing will never drop. And with him, maybe it can really turn the tide of the war. A piercing, tearing sound rang out in front of Betty. Bigaji's monster couldn't hold it either. A pause, a lifetime in vain. To protect the little angels, Betty made a shield out of her body. Seeing that Betty had only one hand left. One is quiet and clear. It may only be a matter of time before they are wiped out. The little angel couldn't help but fall into the intersection. Right now, a monster roared and pounced again. But he didn't wait for him to come closer. Dirk's insight instantly froze through the monster. "Sorry I'm late. Thank you very much for protecting." Ian Jing felt Beggy's kindness. Ian couldn't help but smile. By the way, Li Yuyang, let me bring you a message. He's found a way to beat Bug. At this moment, Ian Jing suddenly fell into shock. It's really a 10-year-old bird in the game. Can even the SG boss be defeated? Bug at this time, also immersed in the joy of summoning monsters. Angel's Paradise is coming. Rejoice! These monsters are called the Gods of Decline. It is the most powerful trekking machine. It was Booker who was preparing to attack later. A vast army of demons, and the white energy that surrounds Booker. All of them are the souls of the Angel clan. If you look at the combat effectiveness alone, there's a real chance that Booker will fight back against the demons. Right now, Li Yuyang had already quietly touched it. He didn't continue to hide. Instead, he jumped decisively from a high altitude. I didn't expect you to be alive. Haven't you recognized the reality yet? Li Yuyang has no nonsense. Immediately took out the soul scale. Customers are not given a chance to reflect at all. He threw the soul scale into the office. Ian Jing quickly released the blessings of the angels. Ian Jing had been prepared for a long time, and the light of the order shrouds like the name of the soul. For a while, the breath of the angel was even stronger. To meet the conditions for the use of props, the name of the soul is activated. A dazzling white light instantly fills the entire screen. Under Booker's horrified expression, he and Li Yuyang were illuminated by a huge light. Isolated from each other, Li Yuyang couldn't have imagined it. I still have the day to strip naked again, with the scales of souls glittering. This A plus a few props have been fully activated. The golden passport spreads out. Enclosed Li Yuyang and Booker in the light. See this scene? The Coco Cats and the monsters also stopped. They don't know exactly what happened. What's the matter? Even Booker, this S-class guy. I also began to panic. What the hell are you playing? And Li Yuyang at this moment. But he has already taken off all his equipment. I didn't even leave bitter tea for myself. Now the battle has officially begun. This is the final form of Lao Tzu. Li Yuyang's operation not only shocked the monsters. Even Ian Jing couldn't help but cover his eyes. Are you this before you die? Is it the effect of the show made for Lao Tzu? Li Yuyang smiled slightly. Don't pay attention to me. Let's take a look at yourself. That's when the customer noticed. His clothes were all gone. Tremendous pressure fell from the sky. With the inclination of the soul support, the customer's whole body began to collapse. Not only is he unable to move now, even breathing is difficult. What the hell are you kid doing? Quickly unseal Lao Tzu. The soul supports the original role. It's about creating a fair duel of strength. Only by achieving the perfect balance. He will lose his effect. And now the conditions are clearly not met. Feel the pressure getting stronger. The customer couldn't help but let out a loud voice, and he was stunned. Hurry up and help Lao Tzu. But the monsters outside the circle still tried their best not to move. It's as if they didn't hear the customer's words. Stop struggling. The soul name has sealed all your abilities. He's a one-time prop with a few pluses. Strictly more powerful than your S-class. Hear this. Customers don't struggle anymore. He simply threw away everything outside of him. Since you're going to be fair, Lao Tzu is in a fight with you. But what customers don't expect is this. The pressure of the soul support has not weakened, as the power of the item grows stronger. Time is running out for customers. Why he still doesn't have a balance? What the hell are you up to? Li Yuyang grinned. Mouth smile. The reason is actually very simple. I'm not a white tiger, I have hair. At this point, the customer was completely furious. When it became a sin to have a cat, he struggled to his feet. And Li Yuyang is this guy. Just plainly looking at the dirt cat outside the circle. I was dumbfounded a long time ago. I didn't expect so much time to pass. The old bird strategy is still so unique. The pressure of the soul is getting stronger. The energy seems to be materialized, smashed on Booker's body. He still hasn't figured it out. Why is the name of the soul yet balanced? Actually, as a one-time prop. Many wealthy people will use it as a life-saving equipment. He can disarm the killer in an instant. And in the case of the same nudeness, the reason why customers are still heavier than Li Yuyang. The reason is that he swallows, eaten too many other people's souls. This reason is obviously unacceptable. The soul is just one type of energy. Why did Lao Tzu suffer from unfair treatment? Without waiting for Li Yuyang to continue explaining, the judgment effect of the soul support is activated. He will force the other person into a fair state. Huge energy shrouded directly over Booker. Zier's screams suddenly resounded throughout the audience. Booker's facial features began to dissipate energy. These are all things that do not belong to him. I'm not a white tiger. I'm hairy. Booker was completely dumbfounded. The soul is called the judgment begins. Countless energies began to flow out of Booker's body. Dirk Cat hurriedly protected the little angel and was careful. There may be anomalies. The light is getting stronger. Countless thin threads rose from Booker's body. These orbs of light are all the souls of the angelic clan, and these souls are running towards the gods of decay. With the soul entering the bodies of the declining gods came with the sound of Zla. A moment of caution. They are also beginning to break free. One by one, the little angels were restored to their original state, flying towards the sky. Most of these are the children of the angel clan. The name of the soul is balance. Handful forced out all the inabsorbable souls. The dead cherubs turned into white streamers, completely dissipated from the sky. The scene is as beautiful as fireworks. The soulless shell began to decay and crumble. Look at the legions you have formed with your own hands. Collapse in an instant. The customer's body couldn't help but start shaking. He couldn't have imagined it. I will lose at the hands of this group of strangers. At this time, he was like an old man who was about to die. Lost all the dignity of an S-class boss. Wait until it's completely balanced. The name of the soul also dissipated in midair. This piece, the power-up did what it was supposed to do. Yuyang put on his equipment again. Hurry up and explain honestly. Who the hell gave you the demon seed? But Booker still hasn't been able to recover from the massive blow. He froze in place. Victory is in sight. Ian's eyes were filled with joy. But the next second he thought of his back. Are you going to disappear too? But Betty's eyes were fixed on the front. Isn't the battle over? Looked at the two people who were frozen in the field. Dirk Cats also reflected. And they do. No system prompts to complete the task. Booker suddenly laughed at this moment. Want to know who gave me the seeds? It was the advent of the divine domain. The moment I got the seed, I knew my mission. As he spoke, Booker took out a demonic seed again. I'll prove it to you. Li Yuyang hurriedly attacked. But apparently it was too late. Customer, laughing and sticking the seed into his heart. At this moment, even Li Yuyang stopped. Is this kid going to kill himself? And Dirk, Cat, and Einjing were also shocked by what they saw. The chorus's body began to click. The seed took root and sprouted within him. The massive trunk of the tree broke through the flesh and swelled. So yourself. This is the plot of the game that was written by which plan? Hu Xi's voice was endless. The big tree appeared in front of Li Yuyang in an instant. Just before Booker was about to lose his mind, he let out a deep groan of pain. Mystery. Booker's arm began to tremble and clutch at the trunk. He even took out the demon seed that he had nourished. Booker didn't hesitate to shove it into his mouth. The sound of oozing chewing sounded in the field. Graham actually ate his own heart. Ian couldn't help but cover his mouth. And at this moment, Booker is like crazy. Chew constantly. The demonic energy also began to become disordered. Booker's body is so different that he can no longer maintain his human form. He is like an awakened true demon. Loud roars began. Li Yuyang's whole person was stunned. The plot is reversed again and again. Let him, A PV expert widened his eyes. See, this is the gift God has given me. Lao Tzu is the real angel clan. Plug yourself in. This man is the most ruthless boss I've ever seen. With a loud roar came. The customer has completed the ultimate evolution. According to his current magic, be considerate that an S-rush will definitely not be able to run. But Li Yuyang, they're already at the end of their strength. All whole cards have been used up. Li Yuyang is still waiting. He ate the fruits of good and evil and ate his own heart. This guy can really give a steady boost to strength. As if to confirm the words of the old bird, the customer's body began to make a loud clicking sound. His muscles began to pound violently. There is an uncontrollable force. Wanton destruction is carried out in his body. The bad gets worse as the muscles swell. Customer. The whole person turned into a giant ball. The rapper hurriedly grabbed Jing. Run towards the outside of the palace. And Booker's head. It's completely swept up in the body. The light of the second order suddenly flashed. The customer is completely drowning in energy. A fat monster appears in front of everyone. At this time, he had lost his fixed body shape. Dream IDK God rank S. Personality unknown. The power of disorder begins to dissipate. Dirk Cat and Li Yuyang also began to run towards the outside of the palace. They had to get out of this dangerous place in a hurry. But in the eyes of Jing, the fat monster seems to be a child. Hear this. Li Yuyang also stopped. According to the velocity at which these energies are easily dispersed, it was only a matter of time before the entire island was annexed. They're going to face this monster head-on. Solve the troubles of Angel Island once and for all. Although Li Yuyang still has a trump card that he has not used. But now this situation is not suitable for sending. Suddenly, he was taken to speak. I might have a way to stop him. The voice fell. Said to Yin Jing after being wrapped. Use all your magic. Divine protection is used against me. Dirk Cat quickly turned his head. The little angel has a low level of defensive skills. Can you fight those white energies? Jing herself disagreed. Divine protection belongs to the divine forces. It will hurt Betty, the god of decay. Betty's face was calm, and it didn't matter. Believe me, the cracks continue. Monsters become more inflated. This force is about to destroy the entire palace. In the next second, the divine power began to condense. The little angel did everything he could to start activating the divine sanctuary. At this moment, his mind was very clear. Countless divine powers surrounded him. As the light spreads, the body of the dorsal body is also shrouded in it. A crackling sound rang out from his body. He remembered something from the past. Do you want to jump off with your sister in your arms? In order not to let me control him. Are you willing to sacrifice yourself? Anyway, though, I'm going to get rid of you, a loser. Faced with such a desperate situation, the rapture fell into silence. He put down the cherub. Just give up. Without waiting for Booker to continue. Betty's expression became even more hideous. Clever wind to cut the ground. Don't wait for Booker's reaction. The platform began to crumble. The cherub also fell with the stones. It's naive. Do you really think he'll be able to survive when he reaches the ground? And Betty, in order to buy time for the little angel, I actually chose the frontal hard steel Booker. Li Yuyang couldn't have imagined it. I still have the day to strip naked again. With the name of the soul shimmering. This A plus a few props have been fully activated. The golden passport spreads out. Enclosed Li Yuyang and Booker in the light. See this scene? The Dirk Cats and the monsters also stopped. They don't know exactly what's going on. Even Booker, an S-class guy. I also began to panic. What the hell are you playing? And Li Yuyang at this moment. But he has already taken off all his equipment. I didn't even leave bitter tea for myself. Now the battle has officially begun. This is the final form of Lao Tzu. Li Yuyang's operation not only shocked the monsters. Even Jing couldn't help but cover his eyes. Are you this before you die? Is it the effect of the show made for Lao Tzu? Li Yuyang smiled slightly. Don't pay attention to me. Let's take a look at yourself. That's when the customer noticed. His clothes were all gone. Tremendous pressure fell from the sky. With the inclination of the soul support, the customer's whole body began to collapse. Not only is he unable to move now, even breathing is difficult. What the hell are you kid doing? Quickly unseal Lao Tzu. The soul supports the original role. It's about creating a fair duel of strength. Only by achieving the perfect balance. He will lose his effect. And now the conditions are clearly not met. Feel the pressure getting stronger. Booker couldn't help but let out a good cry. Don't be stunned. Hurry up and help Lao Tzu. But the monsters outside the circle still tried their best not to move. As if they hadn't heard Booker's words. Stop struggling. The scales of souls have sealed all of your abilities. He's a one-time prop with a few pluses. Strictly more powerful than your S-class. Hear this. Customers don't struggle anymore. He simply threw away everything outside of him. Since you're going to be fair, Lao Tzu is in a fight with you. But what customers don't expect is this. The pressure of the soul scale has not abated. As the power of the item grows stronger, time is running out for customers. Why he still doesn't have a balance? What the hell are you up to? Li Yuyang grinned. The reason is actually very simple. I'm not a white tiger, I have hair. At this point, the customer was completely furious. When it became a sin to have a cat, he struggled to his feet. And Li Yuyang is this guy. Just plainly looking at the dirt cat outside the circle. I was dumbfounded a long time ago. I didn't expect so much time to pass. The old bird strategy is still so unique. The pressure of the soul is getting stronger. The energy seems to be materialized, smashed on Booker's body. He still hasn't figured it out. Why is the name of the soul yet balanced? Actually, as a one-time prop. Many wealthy people will use it as a life-saving equipment. He can disarm the killer in an instant. And in the case of the same nudeness, the reason why customers are still heavier than Li Yuyang. It's that he has devoured the souls of too many other people. This reason is obviously unacceptable. The soul is just one type of energy. Why did Lao Tzu suffer from unfair treatment? Without waiting for Li Yuyang to continue explaining, the judgment effect of the soul support has been activated. He will force the other person into a fair state. Huge energy shrouded directly over Booker. Zier's screams suddenly resounded throughout the audience. Booker's facial features began to dissipate energy. These are all things that do not belong to him. I'm not a white tiger. I have cats that make Booker completely dumbfounded. The soul is called the judgment begins. Countless energies began to flow out of Booker's body. Dirt Cat hurriedly protected the little angel. Be careful. There may be anomalies. The light is getting stronger. Countless thin threads rose from Booker's body. These orbs of light are all the souls of the angelic clan. And these souls are running towards the gods of decay. With the soul entering the body, the bodies of the declining gods came with the sound of Zla. It's just a moment. They are also beginning to break free. One by one, the little angels were restored to their original state, flying towards the sky. Most of these are the children of the angel clan. Soul support for balance. Forced out all the inabsorbable souls. The dead cherubs turned into white streamers, completely dissipated from the sky. The scene is as beautiful as fireworks. The soulless shell began to decay and crumble. Look at the legions that your novices have formed. Collapse in an instant. The customer's body couldn't help but start shaking. He couldn't have imagined it. I will lose at the hands of this group of strangers. At this time, he was like an old man who was about to die. Lost all the dignity of an S-class boss. Wait until it's completely balanced. The name of the soul also dissipated in midair. This A+ item achieves. He plays his due role. Yuyang put on his equipment again. Hurry up and be honest. Who the hell gave you the demon seed? But Booker still hasn't been able to recover from the massive blow. He froze in place. Victory is in sight. Ian's eyes were filled with joy. But the next second he thought of Betty. Are you going to disappear too? But Betty's eyes were fixed on the front. Isn't the battle over? The two of them who watched the zombies in the field. Dirt Cats also reflected. They really weren't subject to the system that accomplished the task. Tibbik, however, suddenly burst out laughing. Want to know who gave me the seeds? It was the advent of the divine domain. The moment I got the seed, I knew my mission. As he spoke, Booker took out a demonic seed again. I'll prove it to you. Li Yuyang hurriedly attacked. But apparently it was too late. Pulga lefts. I planted the seed in my heart. At this moment, even Li Yuyang stopped. Is this kid going to kill himself? And Dirk the cat and Ian Jing. I was also shocked by what I saw. Funker's body began to click. The seed took root and sprouted within him. The massive trunk burst through the flesh and swelled. So yourself. This is the plot of the game that was written by which plan? Who See's voice was endless. Huge trees appeared in front of Li Yuyang in an instant. Just before Booker was about to lose his mind, he let out a deep groan of pain. Mystery. Booker's arm began to tremble and clutch at the trunk. Stunned, he took out the demon seed that he had nourished. Booker didn't hesitate to shove it into his mouth. The sound of oozing chewing sounded in the field. Graham actually ate his own heart. Ian couldn't help but cover his mouth. And at this moment, Booker is like crazy. Chew constantly. The demonic energy also began to become disordered. Booker's body was no longer able to maintain a human form. He is like an awakened true demon. Loud roars began. Li Yuyang's whole person was in place. The plot is reversed again and again. Let him, a PV expert, widen his eyes. See, this is the gift God has given me. Lao Tzu is the real angel clan. Yourself. This man is the most ruthless boss I've ever seen. With a loud roar came. The customer has completed the ultimate evolution. According to his current magic, be considerate that an S-Rush will definitely not be able to run. But Li Yuyang, they're already at the end of their strength. All whole cards have been used up. Li Yuyang is still waiting. He ate the fruits of good and evil and ate his own heart. This guy can really give a steady boost to strength. As if to confirm the words of the old bird, the customer's body began to make a loud clicking sound. His muscles began to pound violently. There is an uncontrollable force. Wanton destruction is taking place within him. As the muscles swell more and more severely. Customer. The whole person turned into a giant ball. The rapper hurriedly grabbed Jing. Run towards the outside of the palace. And Booker's head. It's completely swept up in the body. The light of the second order suddenly flashed. The customer is completely drowning in energy. A fat monster appears in front of everyone. At this time, he had lost his fixed body shape. Dream IDK God rank S. Personality unknown. The power of disorder begins to dissipate. Dirt Cat and Li Yuyang. He also began to run towards the outside of the palace. They had to get out of this dangerous place in a hurry. But in the eyes of Jing, the fat monster seems to be a child. Hear this. Li Yuyang also stopped. Swallow at the rate at which these energies are easily dissipated. It was only a matter of time before the entire island was lost. They're going to face this monster head-on. Solve the troubles of Angel Island once and for all. Although Li Yuyang still has a trump card that he has not used. But now this situation is not suitable for sending. Suddenly, he was taken to speak. I might have a way to stop him. The voice fell. Said to Yen Jing after being wrapped. Use all your magic. Divine protection is used against me. Dirt Cat quickly turned his head. The little angel has a low level of defensive skills. Can you fight those white energies? Jing herself disagreed. Divine protection belongs to the divine forces. It will hurt the decaying god of the rapture. It's okay to be taken up and look calm. Believe me, the cracks continue. Monsters become more inflated. This force is about to destroy the entire palace. In the next second, the divine power began to condense. The little angel did everything he could, begin to unleash the holy sanctuary. At this moment, his mind was very clear. Countless divine powers surrounded him. As the light spreads, the body of the dorsal body is also shrouded in it. A crackling sound rang out from his body. He remembered something from the past. Do you want to jump off with your sister in your arms? In order not to let me control him. Are you willing to sacrifice yourself? Anyway, though, I'm going to get rid of you, a loser. Faced with such a desperate situation, Betty fell silent. Immediately, he let go of the cherub. Just give up. Don't wait for the customer to continue. Betty's expression became even more hideous. Clever wind to cut the ground. Don't wait for the customer's response. The platform began to crumble. The cherub also fell with the 10 pieces. It's naive. Do you really think he'll be able to survive when he reaches the ground? And Betty, in order to buy time for the little angel, I actually chose the frontal hard steel booker. Li Yuyang couldn't have imagined the instability of the S-class. It's so hard to fix the boss. In fact, the cherub fell from a height of thousands of meters. It's caused by the nodules and strange hands. He chose to smash the ground in order to save his sister. The front is hard to carry, due to the injury was too severe. The decaying god, named the body, has temporarily lost its memory. That's why he unconsciously attacked Jing, until I climbed back to Sky Island again, only to regain his memory. And now, he is still surviving. There's only one reason. In order to make my sister live better. The character has been removed from the NPC's fusion effect. A golden glow of letters shot out from the dungeon. Stillness hits in midair. Could this be a precursor to the destruction of the Isle of Sky? Only the village chief understood. These intentions. It is a sign of the release of the dead soul. A line of tears unconsciously even dripped from his face. The next second, the woman's expression became fierce and serious. Hurry up and organize everyone. We must leave the Sky Island immediately. Jing unfuses with the cherub. He was back to his original form. To remove the XP limit. As the system prompt false, Jing actually rose more than a dozen levels in a row. Right now, the little angel flew hand in hand with her sister. The sisters are finally reunited. Thank you. I said I would help you. Just when Ian was still in the waves, countless golden rays of light converged again. They all flew towards Jing. We'll give you all the rest of the power. With the appearance of countless little angel souls, the whisper of the group skill cherub is activated. Jing suddenly became an energy center. The golden armor gradually became infinite. White wings stretched out. Jing's body became more slender. Archangel Jing rank S. Due to the blessing effect of the angel clan, Jing has become a mythical player. The big sister has become stronger. The little angel smiled. Under Jing's gaze, the sisters flew farther and farther into the sky. Jing couldn't help but bow his head. This bunch of little guys, it really doesn't deserve such a tragic fate. The boss below also raised the fat head black. Keep your eyes on this newly born rival in the same class. The dirt cat opened its mouth, even more in shock. Players can be deified. He'd never seen anything like that before. And Li Yuyang has heard of the blessings of angels. But this effect is too perverted. But with the help of S-level Jing, this wave was aimed at him again. Ian slowly closed his eyes. Divine Blessing unleashes a massive, rapid expansion of the light eye. With the blessing of divine blessings, the majestic divine power began to ripple. The whole world is enveloped by this force. Jing's eyes grew colder and colder. It was as if he had become a true angel of judgment. The golden light of the subtitle shines over the island of the sky. Evil and the like throughout the island. All have evolved. Congratulations on completing the main quest. Start handing out rewards. The blessing time is over. Jing fell weakly from midair. Dirt Cat and Li Yuyang hurriedly caught him. We defeated the boss. The final victory was obtained. Hear this. Jing's eyes returned to light. Suddenly, the figure of a cherub looms in the slingshot. Wonderland burst into tears. He couldn't hold it back any longer. He looked up and began to cry bitterly. The buildings of Angel Island are crumbling inch by inch. The huge earthquake made the entire Isle of Sky tremble. This pure land of angels is about to cease to exist. If an island falls from a height of 20,000 meters, what will be the consequences? Li Yuyang took Dirt Cat and Jing, desperately run out of the dungeon. At this time, there was no one in Angel Village. All the angels boarded the escape boat. It is a spaceship that can levitate in the air. Rahil was discovered by the angels and Li Yuyang and the others. Here comes our savior. Hurry up and get them up. But right now, Angel Island began to tilt. The edge of the ship crashes into the stone wall of the island. Even the fastened chains were knocked and broken. The village chief shouted and was about to jump off the boat and fly over. But Li Yuyang loudly stopped him from coming. The wind will make you fall. It was this single spaceship that had risen into midair. If you fall to your death here, maybe you won't even be able to keep the whole corpse. When the time comes, we will be punished with the most severe death. But Li Yuyang was not worried at all. It was meteorites that made the dinosaurs extinct. And now, Angel Island. It will not be worse than the power of a meteorite. This blow would lead to a real cataclysm. Sky Island continues to disintegrate. The speed of the drop is also getting faster and faster. Dirt Cat's also reflected. Is there going to be a new expansion for the game? And this empty island is the opportunity. Li Yuyang grinned. Did you just find out? I mentioned it before. But what made Li Yuyang sigh was that the new expansion pack for the past life is on the way. Blessed 5 years after the promulgation. And this life is because of Li Yuyang. It was brought forward by 3 years. Compared to Cataclysm. Let's worry about your own life first. Xuanji Li Yuyang became excited. He had been preparing for this day for a long time. Although the details of the copy have changed a lot. However, the end result did not exceed expectations. The Chinese New Year's Eve Regiment of the Eight-Legged King. This is a special material collected by Li Yuyang. When the Chinese New Year's Eve group was thrown to the office by Li Yuyang, this thing actually spread out a big lump in the wind. The leader of the Angel Village in the spaceship, staring uneasily in the direction of the Isle of Sky. Those strangers are their benefactors. Did you just give up? Right now. A voice came from afar. In the puzzled gaze of the team leader. The hot air balloon stuff floated over slowly. I saw Li Yuyang sandwiching Jing, carrying a Dirt Cat on his back. A smile on his face floated over. Great, so you didn't die. I saw the balloon float above the ship. Li Yuyang was about to let go and enter the spaceship. Suddenly, there was a buzzing sound. One surprised Li Yuyang. Something happened. A point of light suddenly appeared in front of him. Within the point of light, a little girl could be seen faintly. In Li Yuyang's puzzled gaze, the bright light emitted by the points of light is getting stronger and stronger. The rustle of broken eggshells resounded throughout the audience. The elf stood up from inside the eggshell. The insect queen actually hatched. This little guy, dare to be born before the new expansion is born. Welcome to a new world. My dear Queen Judea. This is probably the worst accident in the history of the game. An island fell from the sky. This caused severe fluctuations throughout the server. In order to protect all players, game companies are forced to do so. Kicked out all the players strongly. Just after the little Gadas disappeared one after another. The Isle of Sky is like rain. 10 generally smashed in the very center of the continent. Cataclysm-related documents are being updated, although the PR fired an intern overnight. However, the stock price of the game company still fell by 3%. In the face of the collective protest of the players, the head of the development team had to hold a press conference. The press conference is tight this time. The emergency is related to a special player. He raided the hidden dungeon in advance. As a result, the game version had to speed up the process. But it is because of the free spirit of the Supreme God. The person in charge did not expose the special players. But don't worry. The Most High God will be completed in less than 72 hours. Version updates. Players will be compensated handsomely. The reward ends with inverted arrows. Here's what you need to know about the new version. I'm the spokesperson for this time, Fangsna. I'll reveal it to you. Some of the new version content. As soon as the words fell, the reporters in the audience instantly fried the pot. The new version came too suddenly. Who the hell is that mysterious god? Fangzina closed her mouth indifferently. Wait until the scene calms down. He calmly turned on the projector. Show it in front of everyone. The front one is a rendered cross. The shape of the continent. The eastern part is a desert area. The western part is a dense forest area. Southern rainforest. The northern snow zone. And here's the picture. It is the map of the rarest area of the Supreme God. His central area has been completely destroyed. In fact, over the continent, levitating is an island in the sky. It was because of that player who completed the hidden mission, causes the island to fall. It was only then that the crust of the entire continent was changed. AI system in order to protect player data. That's why players are forced offline. 100 hours. The ins and outs of this whole world are cleared. The identities of those mysterious players. It has also become the most concerned thing for many journalists. Thanks to the Supreme God's full ecological simulation system, changes in the continental crust, it will also cause corresponding changes in the postseason. So in some extreme environments, 8 monsters will be exterminated. New monsters also breed. Speaking of which, Fonsner happily unscrewed a bottle of mineral water. He drank 200 milliliters, and then he said, a monster that can adapt to the environment. None of them will become stronger. Some hidden copy stuff will also appear. So the new version, the commanding gods will face even tougher challenges. The launch of the game will also be increased accordingly. So I believe this is a version update. It will give players a better experience. Right now, a radio reporter raised his hand. I'm the Red Dream book of the LBG game department. Please, this new version. Does it have an effect on player titles? Just like the reason why Li Yuyang is so powerful. The attributes that the title brings are indispensable. Now that the monster strength has increased, the difficulty of obtaining the title will also be reduced. So the old rules of Yinshi. Will it upset the balance of the game? Please rest assured of this. Previously killed and monsters to get the title with traits. It has now been raised to a plus. And the previously obtained characteristics will be replaced by a new title. But do it. Will it pull the testicles? The strength gap with the average player. Children's dream books, constant questioning. It completely caused Fong Xia to be unhappy. I can't answer your question, and I still have a lot of information that I haven't published. Please don't interrupt me, this lady. Until this moment, the reporters also returned to the trial. This reception was hosted by Supreme Review. As the world's largest game manufacturer, they are the fathers of all the technicians, and the purpose of the reception. Nor is it intended to explain the cause of the accident. This is just a briefing. I'll move on. The new version will usher in a race system. Players have more opportunities to become other species. Inside the clan club, Li Yuyang found Coach Luoyu. He's going to form a new team, and investors have been found. Hear. Luoyu was stunned for a moment. The old bird was brought in with great difficulty. This kid is going out on his own, but as a coach with a conscience. The rain did not stop. After all, he knew the man in front of him, but a legendary level genius. It's the most conscientious team coach I've ever met. The new version will be updated soon. Li Yuyang wants to set up his own door. Ruoyu agreed very happily. Your decision surprised me, though, but I think you'll make it. Seeing Ruoyu's sincere expression, Li Yuyang couldn't help but thank him. But next time we'll meet again, it could be the enemy. Right now, Li Yuyang made an even more excessive request. I want to poach you together. Hope you can come to my new company. Continued as a coach. If it's raining like this, are you crazy? Seeing Li Yuyang, he didn't forelaugh. Ruoyu is really in a hurry. Our personal relationship is very good, but I'm only part of the K1 team. I will never abandon everyone. Don't wait for Ruoyu to continue. Li Yuyang interrupted him. If K1 eliminated this, I'll give you a hint of the new version. Half of the existing clan will disappear. K1 is also about to disband. After listening to Li Yuyang's words, if you sit on a chair with a slump, he didn't know. Where did Li Yuyang get the news? But what caused the disappearance of the clan? Li Yuyang did not answer immediately. Instead, he closed the office door. Next, everything I say is from the bottom of my heart. He decisively took off his mask. See Li Yuyang's true face. Ruoyu was completely stunned. Coach is just going to join me in the Cataclysm version. But Ruoyu sighed. He deliberately kept a straight face and drove Li Yuyang out. A few days later, if it rains a handful of snot, a handful of tears fell into Li Yuyang's arms. If it's a little later, I might be really late. Thank you so much. Looked at Ryu, who couldn't stop crying. Li Yuyang's thoughts returned to his previous life. When the game runs to 5 years, Wakyu, who has led K to the top, suddenly announced his retirement. And the reason is his wife died of thyroid cancer. It's because I found it too late. This makes the condition untreatable. Since then, Ryu has been completely decadent. Before Sky City fell, Li Yuyang took the free physical examination coupon sent by the fan as the one. By putting Wakyu and his wife, I went for a full-body checkup. Sure enough, Ruoyu's wife was diagnosed with thyroid cancer. Fortunately, the operation went well. So, Ruoyu's gratitude to Li Yuyang is from the heart. Looking at Coach Ryu, who sincerely thanked him, Li Yuyang passed away. Once again, the matter of the new team was raised. The atmosphere is all set to this point. If there is still a reason to refuse. Inside the game hall, near MT Ikadake, Li Yuyang and Ruo were chatting. Today's new version has been changed beyond recognition. It's all caused by cataclysms. The new race now adds orcs and dragonmen. Players will also be motivated by race. Got a whole new look. And this change is irreversible. Today's new players are after Havada. You will be faced with the choice of race. Adding a dragon or demon grants a buff and extra WoW bonus. Players who refuse to join both sides. No rewards can be earned. And the demon hunts the dragon, or dragons hunting demons, can get a lot of additional benefits. But with a reward comes an obligation. Demons and dragons have always been hostile. The fall of Sky City was a signal for the two sides to go to war. 7 dragons and 7 demon monarchs. They will all attack each other in various places, and players from both camps. And they have to fight for their king. When the time comes, belong to the array. The camp releases the latest hidden quests and daily quests. Neutral humans will not be forced to do tasks, though. However, there are no additional rewards to be obtained. Right now, Uncle Hong Ming raised his hand again. The two lineups attacked each other. Will it trigger the question of the red system? Don't worry. Players with opposing lineups will not be able to communicate. In a nutshell, the translation system will be shut down. When the time comes, humanity, dragonmen, and orcs, in the eyes of each other, they will become ordinary monsters. How wide can Li Yuyang's connections be? This squad won't be guilty of winning a world championship. The new version will have the status quo of racial language barriers. All teams will go through a major reshuffle. K1 sponsors will also withdraw their funds one after another. So join my club. You definitely won't regret it. But is your working capital solved? In fact, the startup capital of the opening club. Li Yuyang was ready for a long time. However, the club itself is very cash-burning. He had to find new investors. Looked at Li Yuyang and fell into thought. Rook couldn't help but grin. It turns out that King Ma Dong is an old bird. The old bird is King Ma Dong. You've made me so miserable. The battle between the king of horses and the old bird. You also directed and acted by yourself. Li Yuyang hurriedly changed the topic. Asia Prestige is about to begin. Because the race system is on, the other clubs are absolutely messed up. So this is our chance. If you want to participate, there must be at least 5 people. Need help connecting you with the pros? Unexpectedly, Li Yuyang was extremely confident. I've been in touch for a long time. A few days later, Li Yuyang took Ryu to the agreed place. I finally met the future members of my team. Aren't these people a little too outrageous? Li Yuyang introduced it with a smile. Ma Tian won't talk about it. Your old acquaintances. Dirk Cat is also a veteran player of the Supreme God. Lu Yanran's sister. You have also seen Ian's sword. He's a powerful support. Ryu immediately stayed in the professional arena. It's not a 5-black team. Without waiting for Li Yuyang to continue, Ryu immediately pulled him away from the 4 of them. No kidding. Where the hell do you get your confidence? 5 people and 3 amateur members. Li Yuyang is very honest. Only they don't want a salary. And what about the investment you pulled? I've used them to pay you. Ryu was completely convinced. No wonder you can give me double my annual salary. I'm waiting here. If you are not at ease, let's have a formal interview. Ma Wang went to the temporary office of the ministry. Rain like home. The first one to be interviewed was Ian Realm. When it was learned that he was playing Chi Gao God for the first time, Ryu didn't understand too much. You mean to say, do you have less than a week of gaming experience? So have you ever played a similar game? Again, a negative answer. Ryu was completely convinced. After only playing for a week, he was pulled to play professionally. So, how many levels are you now? Ian thought for a moment. If he remembered correctly, I'm level 60 now. A screen full of small question marks appear above the Japanese head. The current ranking is just 60 at first glance. How could you? But I saw Einjing's account information. If the rain is really unconvinced, it can't be done. In fact, in the Battle of Sky City, Ian Jing is perhaps the biggest contributor, and the experience he gained was enormous. Next up is the Dirk Cat. He's also level 62, and the big name of the Dirk Cat has long been heard of by Luo Yu. This teenager used to be in the competitive rankings as well, but it suddenly disappeared not long ago. Unexpectedly, this kid has been following Ma Wang to mix copies. In fact, Dirk was originally reluctant to join the clan. His legs and feet are inconvenient. At first, it was also to pass the time. I chose to play the Supreme God, so he didn't want to do anything out of the way. Although Li Yuyang personally came to invite. But Dirk Mao still didn't let go. See this? Li Yuyang stood up violently. You're my best friend. How can you do it without your sub-civil and military forces? As long as you agree to join my club, I will provide you with the best environment and treatment. And starting a live stream can also increase your income. So trust my vision. You are definitely a talented pro gamer. Are you really not curious? How much of a difference it can bring to the game? And those new S-Class hidden bosses. But I've been waiting for you to go to the strategy. Hear Li Yuyang's words. Dirk Cat finally couldn't take it anymore. He had to say that. Or will your chick put the hook? These 5 people make up the team. Who is the weakest in the end? Bringing up the falling rain thought it was Ian Jinga. Dirk Cat sitting in a German chair. But the level of these 2 people turned out to be as high as 60. Could it be that the masters are really all in the people? Don't wait for the rain to continue to get excited. The next interviewee appears. Lu Yanran's sister Lu Shuriwe. He is an eye-blind patient. But this little girl is also Li Yuyang, the most optimistic former type player. Yuyang hurriedly approached the fish's ear. Don't tell his sister that he's an old bird. I'm afraid he won't be able to help but kill me. The last one interviewed Ma Rijin. This is an old acquaintance. However, the team does not have a lot of money. You may have to be wronged as a professional player in the early stage. This is obviously not a problem. Ma Rijin didn't join for the money. Li Yuyang is even more satisfied with this teammate. Ma Rijin is the son of Coach Ruoyu. Even if there is no Li Yuyang, it is estimated that he will also go with the falling rain. This concludes the interview. Consists of 3 amateurs and 2 pros. A team of players, officially established. They will be Ben, the biggest dark horse in the subworld races. As for funding, if you want to start a relationship, go to the sponsor. But Li Yuyang had already planned it. He wants to make money by fighting bosses. If you played it like this in the previous version, maybe studio broadcast, it will go out of business in a month. But everything changed after the cataclysm. If you're lucky, fight the boss once. It's no different from winning the lottery once. Sinkhole area. It was also the epicenter of the cataclysm, due to the impact of the empty island. The sinkhole became an A-class Huangquan ship system. A plus boss Yellow Springs prisoner trade dark rock. Earthquake snails, and other 59 meters tall. It's all gold. Fierce hammer strikes under the crazy suppression of the boss. Dirt cats can only move non-stop. Leave it alone. The flowing gold aimed at his upper body. Seeing that the enemy is pulling away, the Yellow Springs prisoner's chest suddenly cracked. A huge core was exposed to the air. A moment of caution. Huge gold bubbles are inflating rapidly. Hurry up and get behind me, both of you. Divine Sanctuary was activated in time. Now the boss is attacking on a large scale. As Wang Mingming became louder and louder, the boss's body begins to go into a negative state. All 4 debuffs were successfully triggered. This boss's luck is too bad. Such a low probability of hitting them all. There was a loud bang. Dirt Cat was the first to fight back. Due to the effect of Angelic Shelter, Dirt's beauty attacks both trigger critical hits. Then the Morning Blade fell from the sky. Among the Supreme God global rank rankings, there are only 3 players above level 60. It's time to do it. Congratulations on getting the Imperial Power Prisoner's hand kill. The name of the hand killer will be recorded. The prisoner of Imperial Power is dead. The demonic faction is weakened. The name of the old bird is announced by the whole server. Before the Yellow Springs prisoner refreshes. 50% reduction in gold excavations in unrest areas. It's time to reveal the bones. Li Yuyang stared excitedly at the air, with the frenzy time falling. The colored light exploded in midair. Countless amounts of gold fell from the sky. That's the right way to get a copy. The periphery of the gold fundamentals. It's not worth mentioning. Holding a sack and collecting gold coins. But I can't finish it all at all. Dirk's inventory is also full. Li Yuyang grinned. I'm here to watch you two make a few more trips. Let's pick them all up. That's why Li Yuyang chose this copy. Relying on this harvest, he had saved up enough of the club's working capital. Next, it's time to get the hunting items for S+ monsters. That's what you need to be in the later stages. The hustle and bustle resounded throughout the town. The pet shelter is in a panic. The hostess almost blew up. It's so cool that it's just a little guy included. It turned the whole shelter into a chicken, flying, and doggy. A large number of pets can't stand the devastation. They foamed at the mouth and fell to the ground. And the culprit is obviously Li Yuyang. What the hell are you meowing? Without waiting for the proprietress to continue, a shrill roar rang out again from inside the shelter. The little pets are like they're going crazy. They all slammed into the ground. See this scene? Li Yuyang hurriedly shouted at Judea not to cry. I'm back. In the next second, Wang Mingxing disappeared. A weeping Judea fell from the sky. threw himself into Li Yuyang's arms. The queen hatches from the egg did not find their own kind. Now the only relative, Li Yuyang, has disappeared again. No wonder this little girl cries so sadly. Don't wait for the proprietress to continue to go crazy. Li Yuyang immediately chose to check out, with the blessing of a generation of gold coins. The proprietress sent away the 4 uncles with a smile on her face. Judea's resentment is clearly not gone. Actually, in the last life, Judea's voodoo clan, it disappeared with the cataclysm. Li Yuyang obviously changed the course of game history. And this little cutie, it also successfully became the second to open the key to the cataclysm. But what Ian didn't expect was this. In fact, the cutie is the master. Li Yuyang is just a servant. Oz Continent is the 7th chaotic building on the eastern outskirts. The boss occupying this place is S, a leveled-up dragon of death, and his twin monsters. Only kill his right-hand man first, to have the qualifications to challenge the dragon of death. Kill Oz to get special items. You can immediately challenge the greed demon. That's what they're aiming for this time. Ruiyu's face was full of helplessness. You're really using my house as a conference room. The area is off limits. You are not eligible to enter. Dirt Cat and the Devil came to the corruption groundbreak. Area periphery. There are 2 ways to get into this quest. The first is to go online during events such as events. The second is simpler. That's suicide. The Dragon of Death is suspicious. The living will not be allowed to set foot in their own territory. So only after death. Only players are eligible to enter. However, posthumous characters are counted. It doesn't help. Li Yuyang immediately prepared to show his unique skills. He took a deep breath. The whole person began to become slippery. In this state, the friction in his body will become 0, even if it's just a crevice. Li Yuyang also has the ability to drill in. With Li Yuyang's strength, he entered a special bug space. After 10 seconds of silence, Li Yuyang stretched out his hand violently. The bright light in front of him was even more dazzling. He managed to get inside the dungeon. This bug really works. The 2 Sakia bodies lay quietly in the dungeon. Li Yuyang took out the resurrection props prepared in advance. This is a one-time item with a plus grade. Can resurrect dead players. Activate with the resurrection scroll. Dirt Cat and Ian Jing are terrified from Sekagu. Inside did it. Say yes, count 3 times, and then recite them to each other. How did you do it in advance? You have entered the zone of corruption. One of the guardian footsteps will be recorded. The corpse of a plus-level monster stood in front of everyone. A monster of this strength ended up like this. Could it be that someone has already taken the lead? Could it be the one named Jodia who did it? Li Yuyang is very sure that it is not him. Now that there is a hint of the guard stepping on, someone must have been hiding from the system. The only thing that can do this is the hidden card. Someone can cut off themselves. The A+ monsters all died in front of him. Right now, there was a roar in the distance. The whole cavern began to tremble. A moment of caution. Dozens of twin corridors bared their fangs. Rank C family special surname, 100 battle veteran. The ice beast is 3 meters tall. These guys are social animals, and it has harassment tactics. It's very difficult. But the Dirt Cat's long-term workers have long been hungry and thirsty. He likes to brush the group the most. Strange twin corridors did not stop. Instead, they ran into the distance. It felt like something was chasing them from behind. Sure enough, a huge explosion rang out behind him. Li Yuyang just turned his head. I saw sharp claws, and a breath full of teeth. Kakaramaru Grade S trait, dark, 50 meters tall. It is a mini-boss in the corrupted groundbreaking area. Level monsters. Dirk almost opened her mouth to scold her mother. Just on the edges, S-class monsters appeared. Game planning doesn't give players a way to live. But in Li Yuyang's eyes, this guy's stamina is on the low side. Other attributes are also mediocre. It belongs to the existence of the S-class bottom. A violent wheezing sound came from Poland Maru's mouth. In the next second, he actually swung his fist directly, smashed Li Yuyang into the ground. Carelessness did not flash, and Li Yuyang of the IE machine is gritting his teeth. Wait until you have enough damage to accumulate. Anti-armor activation. As if anticipating danger, Poland Maru trembled. I wanted to withdraw my arm, but it was too late. Huge anti-damage effect. Instantly devoured his entire arm. Wounded by his own attack. It tastes bad, right? Horman looked down at the tiny human. He held up his other arm. Red dots of light began to coalesce. The blood in the air was all breathed in the palm of the hand. Devoured is a characteristic of blood predators. However, it steals 0.01% of health per second. It is also impossible to quickly fill the blood tank. How the hell does this guy do it? Didn't wait for Li Yuyang to think clearly. The boss's horns have already been stepped on. A piercing roar sounded in front of my eyes. The whole ground began to burst. The smoke mirror slipped. He fell into the pit. Dirk exclaimed, "Don't wait for him to come to the rescue." Li Yuyang had already jumped. The two hugged tightly. Together, they fell into the cold abyss. The sharp follow constantly blows the spider chains, piercing the air, tightly locked to the wall, with the cushioning of spider silk. In the moment of decline, Li Yuyang entered a zero-friction state in time. He has used anti-armor and life-saving skills. The blood trough has long since bottomed out. But there is Jing, the nurse. The amount of blood is a minor issue. But Durkat is miserable. I can only deal with S7's Paremu alone. Just when Li Yuyang was thinking about how to go up, a strange figure beside him. Shadow caught his attention. It's something he's been looking for. I didn't expect it to be hidden here. The corners of Li Yuyang's mouth couldn't help but rest. I saw only the shadow of the wall. A giant pumpkin head is motionless. Now our goal is clear. The dirt cat is still on the move. Li Yuyang's voice came to his mind. "Do-me a favor. Look for an opportunity to push the Poland pill down." Dirk turned to look. Resolutely chose to agree. Although singled out the S-class boss. It's difficult, but just if you push it down, it can still be done. The dark cavern lit up with a light. Li Yuyang raised the match. Reach into the pumpkin's mouth. After the flames ignited the trap, the pumpkin head has finally started successfully. As long as you have the ability to think, there's so much more that can be done next. This pumpkin monster, it's Jack Langton who met the Dark King before. At that time, with the help of Li Yuyang, the golem regained his senses and helped kill Jodia together. It also opens the entrance to the Dark King's dungeon. A shrill click sounded on Jack. Li Yuyang stared excitedly at this powerful puppet. In the next second, a roar resounded throughout the palace. A huge figure fell from the sky. It is the S-rank Poland pill. Meanwhile, the dirt cat also fell down. He yelled and kept shooting. The dense ring slammed into Poland Maru's body, and Poland pill screamed miserably. A fierce counterattack was also launched. The dirt cat turns its body sideways at a critical moment. Finally came alive in front of Li Yuyang. Slow S-class boss. I don't pay attention to it. Found a more intense teammate. Dirt cat has just pulled away. Holland's legs began to swell. This is the rhythm to unleash the ultimate. Dirt cat hurriedly turned around. I want to remind Li Yuyang to dodge. But a huge figure appeared behind him. The pumpkin-headed puppet is just a dodge. In the blink of an eye, I was in front of the boss. The scythe of death swept swiftly. The dirt cat also recognized the guy. How could the special monster of the Dark City appear here? Thief Jack Langton. Grade A. Special letter rotten veteran. Height 2. 5 meters. The scythe was raised high, but not waiting for him to attack again. S-level broken, wheel play instructions. One punch sent Jack flying out. A huge roar resounded on the cliff face. Jack's entire body was embedded in the wall. Li Yuyang smiled slightly old man. Haven't woken up yet? Jack shook his head. He came for revenge. But why is it under the cliff? Dirt Cat was also confused. Could it be this A-class guy? Is that the helper you hired? It doesn't look very strong. The previous A-rank monster. It's possible that Jack killed him. However, no matter how strong the individual strength of the A-level is, at most, you can only fight against A-level bosses. It's too reluctant to use it against the S-class Poland pill. Jack moved his body. His scythe is too old-fashioned. If you can have a powerful weapon, maybe the battle will have a different outcome. Li Yuyang immediately threw out his arm. A strangely shaped object came to Jack. Look closely. It's all black. The sum of the independent energy cores of Drateza. The most valuable thing in minerals. Even more valuable than gold. It was Li Yuyang who killed Drateza. Bonus items obtained. It's also a secret weapon against S+ monsters. Start with the core. Jack let out a weird laugh, my friend. Thank you so much. In the next second, the energy core emitted a golden light. It fused with Jack's scythe. Stay until the bow is gone. The worn-out scythe has a new look. Yenran has become an S-level killer. And Jack himself also gains an energy boost. The level has come to the A+ level. Large swaths of stone shattered. Jack came to Paramaru again. The real battle has only just begun. Frost Wolf, level C+. Li Yuyang has always been curious. Why is it such a difficult dungeon? A large number of low-level monsters will appear. And the truth is, the blood-sucking skill that Paramaru released at that time, the reason why he was able to completely restore his HP. It's because of the existence of these twin wolves. They became bait for the S+ monsters. It is also the usual food source of Poland pills. What makes people even more curious? Why didn't the wolves run away? Perhaps this is the advantage of fighting at home. There was a loud bang. The newborn Jack is once again in a battle with Broken Wheel. With the blessing of new weapons. His sickle. Knives can be inflicted on the body of the Polion pill. Huge damage. I saw the light flicker again. Poramon kicked hard into the ground. Huge seismic waves flooded again. The whole ground began to collapse. Dirt Cat was the first to pick up a trail. The three of them jumped together. Flee towards a wider area. And Jack didn't care. Instead, an acceleration scythe swept again. A golden glow streaked across the attack. Due to the nature of Halloween, Jack's body is very lightweight, so that he can be suspended in the air for a short time. So earthquake and other range skills. The damage done to him was limited. But not before Jack hit the ground. A great shadow had enveloped him. There was a loud bang. Jack is stomped into the ground by Paramaru. See this scene? Yuyang gritted his teeth angrily and meowed. Lao Tzu finally found a helper. It's not going to be that rushed. The helper I just found, I was trampled under the feet of others. Just as he was preparing to come to the rescue. A golden glow, shrouded in the thighs of Poland Pill. In the midst of a violent scream, Li Yuyang was shocked to find the entire left leg of the Poland Pill. It turned into a mist of blood. Unscathed, Jack rose from the ground. The golden scythe shone in the air. Even the pumpkin heads have become brighter. And the union of camos, which integrates the core, is the key to getting the pumpkin head back on its feet. Not to be outdone, Poland Pill is not to be outdone. With a huge sigh, he slammed back towards Jack. Dirt Cat hurriedly raised the attack slave. Wants to stop the attack of the Polion Maru. But the next second, a scene that shocked him happened. The twin wolves roared wildly. They rushed towards Poromaru as if they were crazy. Even Jack froze in place. It turns out that you haven't lost your wolf nature, although it has a wolf command. But in front of the S-class boss, C-Rush is simply weak. The killing of the Paramaru continues. The rate at which the twin wolves are dying is getting faster and faster. Just as the wolf was thrown to the ground, the clock was about to be counted. A flash of red suddenly appeared in front of the Wolf King. Seeing the fist getting closer,